So, for people who aren't aware, because this has been a little bit overshadowed by other goings on, okay? President Sunday had DMs with Willy Mac. Willy Mac, he kind of makes, quite popular videos talking about just like the ongoings on of drama. He tends to make pretty good videos. A lot of people think he's retarded, but I think he's actually quite good. He's quite smart. He tends to have a nice like insight about him, right? He's just like a normal guy. He's just like a normal guy, okay? He's not into this like Aiden brand like debate purgatory, okay? He's very, very far away from the Twitch poll side of things. Although, admittedly, he is a little bit obsessed with Hassan, okay? A little bit obsessed with Hassan. Reviving John Scarce. I don't think he's coming back. Anyway, apparently Sunday has DMs with Willy, which I didn't realize that they were ever in communications, but fair play. And as Sunday is seemingly want to do recently, with every connection he has, just started leaking their DMs. So this happened about 24 hours ago, fresh.
Before we do, something a little shorter, but interesting. We're going to get a sneak peek at the Willy Mac Destiny video. There's a reason why we're going to get a sneak peek at the Willy Mac Destiny video. And that's because Willy Mac spontaneously decided to reach out to me today. The conversation was started off boring and then became interesting. So we're going to go over it. And you're going to get...
Okay, so to be clear, the context I'm assuming surrounds this. Willy's making a Destiny video, okay? And he's in communications with Sunday, who was, along with Beckett, kind of, part of the first kind of group of two people who released the Destiny story. He did the first reporting on it. He was in communications with Pixie, okay? So clearly, Willy Mac is sending it to Sunday just to say, can you look over this video? Make sure it's all right. Sunday, every now and again, gets involved in drama. He kind of straddles the politics scene and the drama scene. He does his own thing. He's his own man, okay? So, Willy Mac has sent him a DM, presumably, to look over the video. And Sunday, God knows why, just decides to just leak the DMs. So, I guess, warning to everybody who might reach out to Sunday, big creators who might want to make an association with him. If you reach out to him to discuss an ongoing drama, he will leak all of your DMs, I guess.
Why am I covering a Willy Mac? Why am I being interviewed by Willy Mac? Well, something interesting is happening with commentary. Here's what happened. A little bit of background. So, all these commentary people, Nick DeOrio tried to cozy up to Destiny. There's a infamous tweet. Hey, I just really want Destiny to give us like lectures. That's funny, Jake. Lectures on Israel Palestine. Just give us weekly lectures on politics so we can understand things. It's like it's really pathetic shit. When Destiny was laughing like a demon about that firefighter who got shot at the mass shooting at the Trump rally, Willy Mac jumped in, claim his points. In fact, I can probably pop it up on the screen, can't I?
Okay, so I literally, the only thing that I thought that Sunday would be aware of, right, with Willy Mac is like the drama videos he makes. Now, Willy Mac has had a very, very limited association, right, with Destiny. He has had a very limited association with Destiny. I think it kind of stopped and started a few months ago. He was on the election coverage stream with Turkey Tom, right? I think Willy's been on his stream a couple of times to discuss Hassan and stuff like that. So far as I'm aware, I don't think Willy is particularly... Well, he doesn't really talk about politics. He'll talk about the drama politics streamers and politics creators are involved in. But beyond that point, I don't really think he really touches on it. People don't go to him for political stuff. But I'm guessing Sunday sees him as a former associate. And so maybe that's the lens through which he sees him. And obviously Sunday fucking hates Destiny. Personal fucking grudge. So, why does he hate Destiny so much? Man, that is it's a blood feud. Yeah, it's a long fucking story. It goes on years, right? Goes on fucking years, right? The Sunday Destiny thing. Okay, originally started with politics, political disagreements. Sunday is very kind of, I guess, aggressive person. I mean, in terms of like the way he speaks to people, which is fair. I mean, that's entertaining, right? But he's come to a personal grudge against Destiny. It changed from a merely political one to a more personal one around Destiny's platforming of Lauren Southern, Destiny's platforming of Nick Fuentes, Destiny's, just Destiny's platforming in general. That's where it started, right? It went on and on and on, got into severe fucking backlash. Sunday covered the Lauren Southern leaks when they came out a few months ago, okay? He finally got his W. In response to that, he joined Gisticle's stream when Destiny was on there to ask him about it. And Destiny attempted to dox his name and mentioned leaks regarding, alleged domestic abuse charges that were filed, okay? So, yeah, it's gone really, really, really dark, really fucking heavy, really fucking personal, okay? This is no longer a political disagreement. Political disagreements and political issues will be brought out through the course of this, but primarily, it's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that.
This is Willy Mac. Started the weekend making a video on Destiny for being another classic unhinged liberal, wishing death on a fireman because he made a Putin tweet. Woke up today after doing hours of research on where he's coming from, realizing he's right. There are endless court documents, Willie. You're on Twitter, for God's sake. People can see this.
Okay. Sunday is a little bit of a pedant. Willy Mac is the ultimate anti-pedant, okay? And he's very casual, especially when he tweets and stuff. But yes, he does do a lot of fucking research for his videos. He makes good videos.
There is endless court documents and speeches of Trump explaining his electorate fraud plot to overthrow the newly elected government in 2020. This is not about the Gen 6 protests. The people sent me, the fake electorates admitted. Jesus. The fake electorates admitted to it and have been charged. District of Columbia. Okay. And this is why.
Yeah, okay. So Willy Mac typed out perfectly there, and Sunday just couldn't read it. Okay.
It's really cool. This is why it's really cool that a fireman got shot. That's Willy Mac. Look at this.
Okay. Context for this, in case people aren't super aware, you probably are. Huge fucking controversy sparks off on Twitter because Destiny made a comment that he wasn't sympathetic to the fireman who got shot at the Trump rally when Trump had his attempted assassination. Right, a lot of people broke off from Destiny at that point. Even a lot of people who were on his political side thought that was kind of fucking crazy to say. Obviously, I'm not going to go into the politics of it, but yeah, Destiny didn't necessarily say that he supported it, but said that he wasn't sympathetic to the guy who got shot and killed. That's the briefest rundown I can give, I promise you.
It's just like, it's comical. Ben Shapiro agrees there was a plot. Rob agrees there was a plot, but who cares? I never voted before. I never voted before. I don't think Joe is at all fit to be president, and I think Don's response to getting shot was exactly what you want from a leader. What do you mean? He didn't do anything. But holy shit, this seems like a big deal. Can a single conservative explain to Destiny why it is not? I really want him to. Like, it's embarrassing.
Wait, hold on. Who did we just see? Who did we just see there?
I really want him to. Like, it's embarrassing.
Who compiled this? Beyond the grave. Beyond the grave. Friend of the show, Sol Skibidi, compiles this evidence. Sunday somehow sees it, and this is what he's using to see all these compiled tweets. Oh my god. Oh my god. From beyond the grave, he's still sowing the seeds of drama, doing what he did best. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Also, Willy's statement at the end, okay, being somewhat defensive of Destiny, and then also defensive of Trump. I mean, this is a red rag to a fucking bull for Sunday, okay? Red rag to a fucking bull.
Look at this. So this middle idea person goes, How does that justify a guy with a family getting shot? Shitting on a family man getting shot is never defendable. Absolutely disgusting on Destiny's part. Willy Mac replies, if he thinks a fascist who provably tried to overthrow the U.S. government was going to win, then it makes sense he'd not care about their supporters. So here's what's going on. Oh, I'm naked down there. One sec. There we go. So here's what's going on. All right. All these people, these freaks, went really hard in on trying to profit off of a connection with Destiny. They really wanted to network hard. Why? Destiny's getting mainstream access. Slowly but surely. He was going on to Piers Morgan. He was talking to people like Slavoj Žižek and Mehdi Hassan. Big deal. Big deal. Maybe they can get pulled up too. So something happened. Something happened.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know if I agree with his read there on, especially like Willy Mac, right? Willy Mac doesn't want to go on Piers Morgan. Willy Mac doesn't want to talk to Slavoj Žižek. I don't think he knows who Slavoj Žižek is. Right? He's not that kind of guy. I think Willy Mac just sees him as a broadly kind of credible voice on politics. He's kind of broadly reasonable. Also, he dips his toe into drama every now and again. I'm assuming that's why, right? I'm assuming that's why. He tends to... Like, Destiny's main politics, right? If you're not aware of, like, and watch his content, his main involvement in, like, the political space is... what? Being against far leftists, being against far rightists. Right. That's exactly the kind of figure that would appeal to like a commentary bro, right?
And then the ring did not intend. Okay. It abandoned Gollum. See, it turns out that Destiny was sending a bunch of illicit videos of him with people he worked with without their permission to random girls on the internet. People don't like that very much. That looks pretty bad. And so all these people are now in a bit of a bind. Yeah. Because now they've been spending the last year cozying up to a psychopathic sex abuser. That doesn't look too good. Which brings us to why I'm now still involved in this. Because at this point, my engagement in this issue has been, I showed it happening. That's it. I didn't even really show it happening. I just made it so that the people who had already been shown it was happening have no excuse to not talk about it. That's it. So why am I still involved in this? Well, because now they've got a problem. And the problem is this. They need to launder their position so that they can come out of this still networked, still able to benefit from their friendship with each other, but not having to acknowledge the fact that they propped up a sex abuser.
I'm not sure if I don't agree with that at all. This is drama. They report on drama. I don't think anyone really wants an association with Destiny. This wasn't known. This changes people's opinion. I don't think it's really anything beyond that, right? Congrats on 500 subs. Thank you. The application for monetization is in the pipeline. I wish I had an AdSense account before. I wish I'd have thought to make that before. Unfortunately, that means that my application might take about a month, but there we are. The likes, the support, the subscriptions, donations, obviously, especially, hugely supported. But even if you just watch him.
Not having to acknowledge that they threw away all of their dignity and their credibility, what of it there is, to prop up a sex abuser. So why am I being involved in this? Well, because if I did something real bad, by talking about it, by showing the coercion that was being set up, by showing the DMs between Kyla and Pixie, in which everybody around Pixie was giving her advice to do something that would make her legally culpable, so that she could be paid off on the cheap, and everybody else kept silent, and her, by the way, into perpetuity. If they can make me look really bad for that and make me a character, well, then they're the good guys for not talking about it, aren't they?
More context that I think explains Sunday's thought process through this, okay? So in the process of Sunday making his video on the Destiny situation, he had a conversation in private with Nicholas DeOrio, right? He didn't tell Nick that this conversation was going to be recorded, but he recorded it anyway, and he included it in the video. and described it as, this is a call me and Nicholas had as he wanted to speak out on the, or talk to me on the Destiny situation. He didn't say that it was privately recorded. So far as we knew, this was just Nick giving an interview to Sunday, okay? Oh, after this, Nick, obviously very fucking upset that Sunday's just included this in his video without his knowledge, right? Never mind, I guess he probably is quite, annoyed about having been recorded without his consent. Well. On a phone call. God, that phrase is just like, is finding its way into my fucking verbiage way too easily. Okay. So he records him without his knowledge, puts it in his video, after, calling him basically to say, you're included now, sorry. It was about that, the conversation was, right? After this, Nick is obviously very fucking angry with him. And a lot of the coverage, well, not a lot of the coverage, but a decent...
Okay, bro, you're getting too big for your boots.
Like the stream or Mom's a garden too.
Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. True. People should like the stream. What's going on? But yeah, there we are. So that's the thing behind it. A lot of Nick's coverage about this. He's spoken about this on quite a few occasions, basically saying that Sunday is like a weird psychopathic person. He's a bad guy. I'm fairly sure Nick has said that the work he did was was good in terms of its factual basis, and Destiny's a bad guy. But Sunday released this information without Pixie's consent, without Nick's consent, right? Primarily without Pixie's consent, right? And so I think he feels like the commentary cabal are coming after him to paint him as the bad character, to draw attention away from themselves and their association with Destiny.
But they're not, because they weren't not talking about it because they cared. They were not talking about it because they were hedging their bets. They were hedging their bets. Nick even said to me in his call, nobody caught this. I was going to leak it myself in a couple of weeks anyway. People kind of forget that part.
Okay.
People forget the part where Turkey Tom was saying, do you actually trust Melina? Do you actually trust Melina? You don't trust Melina, do you? Besides, isn't she an OnlyFans whore? Don't they share that shit around all the time? Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about Nick going, well, maybe she was talking about the Leafy thing. Chud Logic, you're just like Mr. Girl if you're paranoid about EGG hounding people for speaking out about this stuff.
Is there any evidence Willy Mac even knew about the leak? At all, like Tom and Nick. Nick didn't have the DM screenshots through the New Year's call. Willy Mac makes entire videos where he clearly doesn't know much about the creator's core content outside of the streams of controversy. So I doubt he knew this stuff. That's possibly true, right? And Willy does have an association with Nick, but he doesn't make the same kind of content, right? He doesn't really make exactly the same kind of content that kind of Turkey Tom and that kind of group do. He makes drama content. To be fair, I'm not even sure I can explain like the core difference, but he's not like in and amongst that kind of group. He's not in like the live stream group, I guess. That would be the easiest thing to say. He doesn't appear on live streams. I don't think he does live streams, right? So I would doubt that Willy Mac would even have a reason to know any of this. He doesn't break stories. He just reports on what's gone on, right? He doesn't reveal new information. That's basically it.
Then in private with me, I would talk about it Sunday, I would, except they're just so scary. There's just so many of them. Steven is such a stranglehold.
Yes, I do remember Nick said that he would have made a video but he was kind of a little bit concerned about the DGG kind of sphere, right? He didn't want to get fucking ruined by this shit. Right? So, yeah.
So the only reason why I'm involved in this at this point, because I don't want to be, is because I'm being used as a tool to launder the case. Where did he say there's going to leak it in a couple of weeks? It's in my conversation with Nick Ico. I uploaded the recording. I gave you the super long one. I told Nick, by the way, this is also forgotten. People keep bringing up that I cut the call. I cut the call telling Nick exactly where I was going to cut it.
Yeah, but you recorded... Okay.
I told him I was going to...
As I've said, okay, apparently Sunday did tell him that he was going to record the call. Sorry, he was going to cut the call when he released it, right? Nick ended up just releasing the full call because he felt that Sunday cut out things that were, well, would have been damaging to him if they were said. But, yeah.
It's only about half an hour. How did I miss that? Oh, people don't pay attention. It's a lot of stuff to go through, and it's not very important. Because here's ultimately what matters. I'm being dragged into this so that people like this don't have to make an accounting of why they were covering for a sex abuser when it was safe to do so. So this is Willy Mac, who reached out to me this morning. Willy Mac, who must be applauded for not relying on morons like Doomer Media today to do his research. Although how much research he's actually done, we will soon find out.
I'm not going to explain that, okay? Doomer Media, old kind of commentary politics guy who at one stage Sunday was involved in a drama with because he did some stuff, and yeah, Sunday turned his autism laser on him and eviscerated him. He's now dead.
And we're going to go through it together. You're still an asshole? Yes, I am.
It's, dude, Sunday's such a fuckwit. Listen, it's hard not to love him, okay? It's hard not to love him. You love him too, you just don't want to admit it.
All right. But you know what I'm not? Not a sex abuser. And I didn't cover up a sex abuser.
Allegedly. Allegedly not a sex abuser. Also, cover up. Yeah, I think this probably happened today. We have no reason to think that Willy Mac knew any of this. Didn't cover up a sex abuse. Where's the covering up? I'm taking notes.
7G, and thanks for the 20 gifted memberships. And very quickly before I press on and forget, JK, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. And JK as well, thank you for the 10 euros. You better put 18 plus in this live stream, otherwise a 17-year-old will see the stream accidentally and get groomed. Oh dear.
Okay.
All right. Willy Mac. Well, I'm in the shower, by the way. Hey, let's call. I got some DMs. I want to see if they're real. DMs, huh? From me? Yes. This person says they're from Kiwi Farms, and it's... They've got xenogenders. And it's you asking... Oh, it is. Sorry, this would be a... It is you asking a person named Solo for dirt. They look super clear, so can't tell if they're real or fake. I don't know why them being super clear would matter, but okay. Oh, I can answer that here. Close, but not exactly. Well, probably scroll it down before you... All right. I scrolled through this very quickly because I didn't know if he was going to delete. Bear with me here. Can I slow down the speed of this? That would be useful. Can I? No. All right. Fair enough. So I say, oh, I can answer that here. Close, but not exactly. The Solo person, this is the person who leaked the Revenge Porn, showed up in Queeman's server and was claiming to have a bunch of Destiny DMs. I was initially uninterested since the only previews he was showing were of him sexting Rose. Solo is the person who leaked the Rose DMs, right? He had some link to a too far back. This is gonna be difficult. Okay. We'll lose the HUD for now. He had some link. Jesus. He had some link to a big dump of files. I warned people not to open it because we don't know what it is. He said he had stuff confirming the Lawrence Southern affair, so I asked him to prove it in DMs. That's where I got the Lawrence Southern leaks from, which I covered since they confirmed Stephen was lying about the affair when he was calling his wife crazy on stream. And then I answer again. Solo is the person who leaked the Rose DMs, right? Yes. I'm unclear if the link he posted had the revenge porn in it because I never clicked on it. So when I refer to revenge porn in these DMs, I'm referring to the sects with Rose, not the videos and images, which at this stage I didn't know about. So he sent screenshots of the Lawrence Southern conversation, which turned out to be pretty clearly real. He then later asked if there was anything about anyone else I wanted him to look for, so I asked if there were any comments about several streamers off the top of my head. He mentioned stuff with ABBA, I said sure, and he sent me an AI-generated image of a, should say large, naked, actually, of a naked black guy cropped off at the head. I terminated the conversation at this point.
That is true. That is true. You can find those, okay? You can find those. It is very funny, to be honest. Just imagine Sunday's reaction. Just as he just sees, like, what's that? It's one. He's got a spoiler in it. It's a black guy. Is this real? Is this real? I don't believe this is ABBA.
Point. So, quote unquote, asking for dirt isn't accurate. At this point, all I had seen Solo leak. All I had seen.
He was aghast. He was agog. His mind was boggled. He was bewitched by what he was seeing on his stream.
Solo leak were texts, and the Lawrence Southern ones were useful in clearing the air around the people Destiny was calling crazy in public, like Melina. When Solo offered similar material, I said, sure, that's really the extent of it.
Okay. So that does color a little bit. Willy's seen these DMs and describes them as Sunday looking for dirt, right? On Destiny. From Solo. Okay. But to be fair, he's DMing to clarify, so I don't know what the issue is.
Forever live in Destiny's shadow, loser, says Phil. You don't keep up with things, do you? Okay. So this is what he sends me. This is...
But meanwhile, he can't help but just get, like, sidetracked and, like, one-guyed by chat while he's going through his own DM leak. Oh, my God.
Right, so at this point I'd say, like, you don't seem to care much for Rose, right? So you're unconcerned with Rose's well-being, I take it, unless she's also in Russia or some such. Solo says, I prefer to edit around things to help her out, but ultimately I don't care. And I say, let me know when you're ready before you send. What exactly do you want me to send? Can you make a list here from what I described? Everything pertaining to Fuentes, Lauren, etc. Emphasis on big-name figures with political significance. Maybe Brianna Wu, although I don't really give a shit about her. And we'll see the rest of the DMs you sent later.
Okay.
I asked, is that all you have? There's like 7 of these. Show me all and I can confirm them. Just wanted to know the context and if this was real. So these were all talked about, by the way, on that JStock stream. So these are already in circulation too.
So these, show me when I can confirm them. Right, okay. So it's already public information.
So I can't remember off the top of my head where these came from, except that these would have been the ones sent by the revenge porn leaker Solo. So if Willy Mac says the person's from Kiwi Farms, my inclination is to say that he got them from Solo. So Willy Mac's in communication with the revenge porn
okay
leaker. So Willy Mac says, I just want to know the context, and this was real, and I say, I'm interested to see them because Solo deleted all of his messages from her DMs. Oh, this is my screenshot. I just realized the name at the top. Because I looked in mine, because he deleted all of his DMs on my end. This must have been from when this is happening in real time. Wait, these are from Solo. Here's my end. So I sent him my end of the conversation. So, did that not show up? I must have still been grabbing it. There must be.
Also, that. Okay, you can see that. That's the DM that Solo sent to Sunday. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
It must be later down. I'll show it in a second if it didn't pop up here. You can see the red splotch one. Was the last one he sent.
Oh.
Okay. So that's what I got. Reaching out to you, I didn't know this is real. Damn, so this dude deleted everything on your end. This is sometime before the revenge porn dump on Kiwi Farms and after there was a leak of him DMing Destiny. Solo DM'd Destiny after this.
That's not a full leak though, and it's not particularly interesting. Yeah, or at least if there is a full leak, I haven't been able to find it. But I feel like I've looked everywhere for this. I can't find a full conversation. I can only find like a single screenshot of one message from Solo and one message from Destiny. But yeah,
these DMs aren't secret. They were discussed with JStock and Destiny on the stream where Destiny doxed me. I'm pretty thoroughly convinced that whoever Solo is, they and Rose are the same person. The story doesn't make sense. How did the nudes not leak but the Lauren Southern stuff did? Didn't that happen at the same time? No. Initially, Solo had posted screenshots and claimed...
Okay, so it's pretty clear from this point. Willy just has no fucking clue what is going on. Fuck, I need to finish the fucking Destiny video that lays out the timeline. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Live streams are not the fucking place to do this. Jesus Christ, people don't know what the fuck is going on.
...and server of the Rose conversation. His posts are gone, but everyone else's are still there. People, including me, were clowning on him because this info was just petty and useless. At some point, he claimed to have confirmation of the Lauren Southern stuff. I'm skeptical, and eventually ask him to prove it in DMs, then the rest happens. Okay, thanks for clarifying. One more question. In your call with Nick, you seem to acknowledge that posting this story without Pitch's permission was bad and could have extremely bad consequences. What changed 4 days later? And I want to be clear, I'm asking for a public statement that I will use in my video. So, back a little bit. Now I write long.
You'll do it for a box of Pokemon cards from Target? Okay. Let me know how much a booster pack is. I'll send you that in a dollar amount, okay? And you just fucking edit the video for me, dude. I'm so bad.
I was trying to explain to Nick that staying silent about this indefinitely would only result in someone leaking it in a way that protects Destiny and makes the victims the ones who take the hit. Nick and Tom had already piled on discrediting Melina about whether the leaks were consensual, etc.
$4? We can do that.
It was going to happen. I was walking Nick through a very probable course of events, even if he's motivated cynically. The reason why I personally had stayed quiet for so long was that I was under the impression that Pixie was communicating with people who were trying to help her. And that the material I had received was being kept private for her security. So I'm watching the top screen here so I can make sure you can see what I'm reading. From the Nick conversation, I learned that not only was all of the information From the Nick conversation, I learned that not only was all of the information I had already in wide circulation, everyone Pixie was talking to, from Kyla to Straight Raid, had ongoing professional and personal entanglements with Steven. Meaning that she was having people whisper in her ear to make reckless decisions at her own endangerment, who had ulterior motives, if not direct conflicts of interest. The biggest betrayal was Straight Raid, who I learned was the one feeding payment ideas to Steven while also exposing how financially vulnerable Pixie was to him, meaning that even the people who were encouraging her to get money from Steven were sabotaging her ability to get a decent payment. This combined with the fact that the interactions clearly constituted extortion. There were direct statements that extra legal actions affecting Destiny's reputation would happen unless she received or Steven lost a satisfactory amount of money. And given that everyone around Steven already had the information I had and seemed determined to help discredit any women who came forward with allegations, the Melina case was particularly important in my thought process, since she was actually threatened with public exposure by Destiny in the past. I felt that what was
Hmm. Oh, so we saw Melina. Yeah, but that's of a different character. Yeah.
Going on was significantly more dangerous than exposing it. Just to illustrate how widespread this information was. I approached Beckett about this, and he already had the information. I approached my editor, and he already had the information. It was weird. In particular, Pixie being encouraged to extort Stephen puts her in severe legal risk and makes her very vulnerable to coercion and abuse by Stephen.
Yeah, see, Sunday's message here about saying that, oh, these people already had the information, right? From what I can tell, more or less anybody that was somewhat involved in Chud's Discord, Koeman's Discord, right? People who were heavily involved, like known figures. Somehow a lot of these people have like DMs with this solo person, right? These people have DMs with this solo person. So that's how it got around. But Willy Mac does not run in this circle. It's not weird that Willy Mac wouldn't have these DMs or wouldn't know about it, right?
Even going forward. That is a mental health risk. I wanted to make sure people were talking about this in a way where the emphasis was on the system of control that Stephen had set up instead of some right-wing channel laughing at the women around Destiny or calling Destiny gay.
Unfortunately, that was the majority of the leaks.
I haven't made content on this since. Obviously, now I am. Thank you for that, Willy Mac. Besides some remarks on editorial decisions. I wanted to bring this to light, and that's all. Important point, by the way, not directly to do with the above, but you should know. There is zero evidence that Solo hacked Rose's account to acquire these DMs. That was a narrative introduced by Stephen to downplay the recklessness of his own actions by entrusting a random 19-year-old with these materials without the consent of the people in them. Everything instead points to Solo being directly connected to Rose, from his own claims to being her friend/boyfriend, to his unwillingness to expose compromising information about Rose in particular. For my money, I think Solo is Rose. Now,
I don't think so.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is because to this day, Not So Erudite is referring to this as a hacker. I think Jason...
So far as we know, they are, right? It's difficult. It's difficult, okay? Because this is like, I don't know. This is fucking, it's difficult to say. And from the evidence we have, it's difficult to even know. Solo types in British English. He uses European date codes when he has screenshots. Rose, so far as I can see, lives in America. I don't know why he thinks this is Rose. It does seem weird that this person would have happened to be, like, hacked by somebody who's, like, already in the community, kind of, tangentially. Right. And so, is it her boyfriend? I've heard that. I've heard that as a plausible explanation. I've heard that, like, thrown around by a few people. I think that's plausible. But that they're a hacker and that they've hacked this account is also plausible. For my money, okay, I don't think Solo is Rose. For my money, I think that Solo is like Rose's boyfriend or somebody else that Rose knows who's able to get access to this account. But yeah, I don't know.
He starts referring to this as a hacker a little bit too, although I haven't kept up with him. He may have stopped by now. I don't remember if Lonerbox is calling it a hacker or not, but here's the point. A whole lot of people are still hedging their bets, and they're waiting. They're waiting to see if the follow-up from this is such that Stephen can't bounce back. Because if he does, they are going to crawl back. The reason why people are being really soft touch with Stephen and talking about me is because what they are doing is they are setting up a situation where they can pick the most profitable option at their leisure, and who cares who gets thrown under the bus in the process. Seeking financial restitution is not extortion. If you do so with threats of extra legal action, it is. So, for example, if you threat...
Hold on. Okay, so this goes to a very, very important kind of criticism all around this, okay? This goes to an important criticism around this, that Sunday described Pixie as an extortionist for her communications with Stephen and for her requests, right? This is quite important.
Financial restitution is not extortion. If you do so with threats of extra legal action, it is. So, for example, if you threaten to go public with something, if you don't get money, then that's extortion. Definitionally. It's very, very simple. Go talk. Don't.
Okay, to be clear, I agree with Sunday here, but I'm using extortion in a purely descriptive, like, non-legal, to be clear, and also non-moral thing. In my mind, when I use the word extortion and hear it from Sunday, it's not inherently immoral to extort somebody. Occasionally, people can deserve to be extorted, or you can extort somebody and it can be okay, right? If Pixie has extorted Destiny in this situation by going public that she didn't consent to this being shared, that's fine, right? I think that's okay. But I wouldn't think to use the word extortion apropos of nothing if this situation was coming to me new, right? I only say that I kind of agree technically with the way that Sunday's saying it. But every time I say it, it's with the caveat that, yes, this is not, I'm using it in a non-legal sense. I'm using it in a non-moral sense. And I think it was okay. He doesn't, right? And so he lends himself to perhaps the misinterpretation, or at least the interpretation, that he thinks that this was an immoral act.
Don't take my word for it. Go ask a lawyer. Just go ask.
Oh, okay, so he does think it's legally extortion.
But you don't need to take, that's the thing. You don't need to take my word for it, guys. The law applies equally to everyone. That's how it works. We didn't see her threaten, but we did, though. She said she's going to go public. Pixie didn't get money. It doesn't matter if she got money. You seem to be confused. Her like successfully getting the money does not change the nature of the act. True. Like genuinely. Yeah, except Legal Mindsets analysis didn't talk about possible extortion. Yeah, but he didn't look at those DMs. He was looking at the statement. He looked at the statement, not the DMs with Kyla. You're looking at the wrong document. And I saw that. So now it doesn't matter? Well, it does matter, because the purpose is to show, like, what happens. People get locked in. Legal Mindset also thought Rekieta was going to get jail time. I wouldn't judge him for that. That's different, right? So, like, determining whether something is against the law versus predicting what the outcome of a court case will be, these are two different things. So, I don't know Legal Mindset. I wouldn't hold that against him. So it's like, I don't know what that guy is. Says the lawyer, great, I'll take his word for it. But he wasn't covering the document I'm talking. Moving on. Echo, you're not a lawyer either. You got to stop, okay? We'll get there, don't worry.
What is Aiko jumping? What's Aiko saying? Please stop with the extortion.
I guess there's a lot of peer pressure. But really and truly, I'm going to tell you this. Every single person I have talked to, every single one, their response has been, what do you mean it's extortion? Look, she wanted it to go to charity. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
You said to stop you? Oh, I did, didn't I? God damn it. Well, my hand's been forced by Willy Mac, okay? So here's what it is. But like, every single person I have talked to has said this.
Okay.
It's not extortion.
Whoa, okay. So that's interesting. So Sunday has been asked Aiko in private to stop him using the word extortion. Okay.
It's for, she said it could go to charity. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not accusing her. Just to be clear, I'm not accusing her. That's done. That document is there.
To be clear, I'm not even sure what Sunday is hoping to even... I mean, it goes on for maybe 20 more minutes, right? But I'm not even sure what he's hoping to demonstrate here by this leak of the Willy Mac DMs.
I'm describing something in the past tense.
Okay.
I'm right, by the way, but let's assume I'm not. You're legally
I'm right,
paralegal,
by the
Mr.
way.
Nameless YouTube chatter. I didn't realize that. I defer to you clearly, surely. I didn't realize that the nameless videoless channel in my chat is paralegal. Can't argue those credentials. Moving on. I thought he was spelled paraplegic. That is true. Don't worry, the argument's in here too. We'll get there. Willy Mac says, "So you linked all this to protect Pixie?" No, I don't think I have any capacity to protect Pixie. The bind here was that Pixie's suicidality, which is the result of Destiny leaking the revenge porn with her in it, was being used as the justification for people to keep hush about what was going on, not just with Pixie, but with all of Steven's victims, including his wife. Pretending that the leaks weren't already known to contain Pixie in them when very large channels had been tweeting about it since day one, which is how I found out, was the default excuse to silence anyone who so much as mentioned that Destiny had leaked multiple people's intimate sexual material without their consent. Essentially, Destiny and the channels who benefited from being linked to him were using Pixie's suicidal ideations as a cheat code to get Steven out of being called out for a sex crime. Meanwhile, the people advising Pixie were all seriously compromised in some way. Either they wanted to remain Steven's friend and were telling him information that hurt Pixie's security, straight rate, or they had direct conflicts of interest, Kyla and Dan. All were encouraging or facilitating her to do something very illegal with a plethora of documentary proof that would give Destiny serious power over her for the rest of her life, while at the same time talking to Steven behind the scenes and sabotaging her ability to extract enough money to even satisfy Pixie's naive goals of teaching him a lesson. The risks to Pixie wouldn't go away with keeping this quiet. In fact, new ones were being set up. I need to emphasize this. Extortion is a felony that can come with jail time. People who have made threats for money against people who probably did sexually victimize them, by the way, have been severely penalized for it in the past. Even being able to hold this over Pixie's head into perpetuity could be deadly to her. Meanwhile, the other victims were still afraid to come forward out of an accurate fear that they would be ridiculed and disregarded.
I don't know if this is even true. People who've made threats for money against people have been severely penalized for it in the past. Steven being able to hold this over Pixie's head into perpetuity could be deadly for her. I don't know if there's any evidence that Destiny even would hold this over Pixie's head, right? He said, do whatever you want. If you want to go public, that's okay. If you want to go for a lawsuit, that's okay, right? Now, you might not say he's being honest with that, but he's given her the free will to go whatever route she wants. There's no evidence that Destiny's going to hold this over her head. Okay.
While Steven is free to get busy making new victims. I assume you saw the new leaks from yesterday. Thank you, 7Gene, for the 20 gift memberships. I appreciate that. Willy Mac says, straight rate is the person that leaked everything to everyone, lol. With hungry small-time drama channels, no less. Okay, the best I thought I could with what I had. Bro, you don't even know if Pixie was extorting Steven or not. But I do. You don't know what she was going to do. This is what people don't understand. Extortion is very simple. It is very simple, and it works like this. If you demand anything, or demand somebody do something, on pain of anything extra legal, that's extortion. That's it. Didn't you forget to thank him for the previous 50 memberships? Oh, I thought I did. Thank you very much.
I'm not, okay. He's bringing this into the legal realm, okay. I'm not even sure that this is true. I've looked into it, and I've had a couple of people message me who are lawyers, right? Not necessarily in the relevant jurisdictions, but, you know, as far as I can tell, I've only been able to find very limited examples of laws on the books that says that if you leak something to the public, that can also clarify as extortion, right? So it's not definite. It's not as clear-cut as he's saying, right? And then if he's, kind of hanging his hat of claiming this is extortion legally based on her releasing this to the public, fairly sure that part of extortion would also legally need to be that you hope to personally benefit from it, right? Which Pixie has said that she's happy for this to be donated to charity. Now, to be fair, I have said when I went over this before, because I'm talking in a non-legal sense, right? That, she said that afterwards to Erudite, after she had initially made the request, right? She said, this can go to charity, right? That might be a subtle kind of like, well, if you really don't want to give this to me, you can give it to charity kind of thing. It could be that, but there's no reason to think that. And how would that play legally? I don't know. I don't fucking pretend to know. But apparently Sunday is absolutely resolute that this would be legally extortion. I've got no idea why.
That's 17 for the previous 50 memberships. Very generous. It is very simple. It is super simple. And I want you to picture this for a second. We'll flip it around. I'm actually going to explain this to Willy as well, but let's flip this around. Let's assume Pixie was rich and Stephen was poor, and the exact same dynamic had taken place. And Pixie has no desire for Stephen's money. But she says, I want him to learn a lesson. So if I'm floating some nuclear options around in my head, okay?
In my opinion, the charity thing is not that important legally. The thing is, okay, for the legal aspect, here's the thing. If a necessary component of the legal definition of extortion, right, is that you are personally benefit from it, you are personally benefiting from it, personally enriching yourself or, whatever. Her saying that it could be donated to charity is a huge thing because it doesn't seem as though it brings a doubt about whether she wanted to benefit personally, right? She's given a way to meet her demands, right, without benefiting her personally. That's the thing. That's why it's relevant. That's why it's important. Yeah, which just throws a whole spanner in Sunday's works. I can understand if Sunday says that this is then, No, I don't even see that.
I don't think Stephen really wants to make amends. I don't think he really cares. So I'm thinking of going public or like leaving a note after something terrible.
I mean, what's his face? Lonerbox says that this is defamatory. What Sunday said about her in regards to this extortion stuff is defamatory. I don't know if it is. You might say it's incorrect, but past his own personal opinion, I don't know.
But it really, but and then she says, well, okay, so just to lay it out, so you want a plan to make sure it doesn't do it again. Yeah, but it needs to be a money amount. Money is the best punishment. That's Just to be clear, I need to say this again because people who are smarter than this are having an extraordinarily difficult time overcoming peer pressure to think like adults. You do not need to carry out a threat for it to be illegal. You do not need to actually have obtained the money to extort someone. That is a threat. You're an idiot. If I'm going to do something unless you do this, that's a threat. If you are a paralegal, you're a very bad one. All right.
The thing is, this is a problem. I think Sunday's got a huge fucking ego, clearly, right? He's got a huge fucking ego. And the problem is that he's got the reverse. He's got like the reverse of like the DGG, like Destiny cult syndrome, right? Whereas he, some people in and amongst, not even public figures, to be fair, maybe Darius. But other than that, you do still have Destiny fans that are a little bit brain rotted about that stuff, a little bit of a DGG cult. But the problem is, he's then got there's a second side to that, which is he thinks that everyone that is then disagreeing with him on his points are like Destiny dicksucks. Or they're afraid of peer pressure. They can't even think like adults. Which I don't think Willy Mac is in that camp. So I feel like Sunday's going a little bit schizo here.
Right, you're a broken record. Bye-bye. I'm going by Florida, by the way. Just to be clear. You want to see? Let me show you. This gets weird. And yet we must. By the way, just a heads up. I usually end up being right. It's kind of spooky, actually.
Yeah, listen, I like Sunday, okay? I like the fact he has an ego. I find people with an ego, like, really entertaining to watch. I think they're, like, interesting. I think it's totally fine to have an ego about this stuff. Right? But when you start alleging that other people are just, like, mentally warped, and that's the reason why they don't agree with you, it becomes a little, it goes a little bit too far, especially when you're talking about, like, arguing about legal statutes, to the point where you've got, like, as a non-lawyer, you're bringing up a legal statute, right, and highlighting it to then prove a point to people, and you're like, I'm usually right, by the way. I can't believe people can't think like adults. I'm absolutely right. It's like, okay, it's going too far now.
Whoever, either verbally or by written or printed communication, maliciously threatens to accuse another of any crime or offense. Threatens to accuse of any crime or offense. Or by such communication maliciously. By the way, when you see maliciously said here, what that means is intending to cause harm. In the conversation with Pixie, we have Pixie explicitly saying she wants this to punish Stephen. Okay? Maliciously threatens an injury to the person, property, or reputation of another, or maliciously threatens to expose another to disgrace, or to expose any secret affecting another, or to impute any deformity or lack of chastity to another, with intent thereby to extort money or any pecuniary advantage whatsoever. And for the people who are confused by her saying it could go to charity, or with intent to compel the person so threatened or any other person to do any act or refrain from doing any act against his or her will, shall be guilty of a felony of the second degree, punishable as provided in basically with that.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, you can't.
I mean, there's jail time. Just to be clear, that's what we're talking about here. This is not complicated. This is very simple.
Where's that
means jail
from?
time.
To accuse another of any crime or offence, or by such communication maliciously threatens injury to the person, property, or reputation of another, or maliciously threaten to expose another to disgrace, or to expose any secret affecting others, or to impute any deformity or lack of chaste to another. Is she? Or is she just coming out to say that she didn't consent to these videos being released? This is the problem, right? You can't just read a legal statute, put it on the screen, highlight a paragraph of it, right? This is why you have to train for a long time to be law. There's case law to this stuff. And unless you've gone over that, you just can't have that much confidence in your opinion, right? You can maybe think, maybe. It's just way too much, though. Way too much confidence.
Just to be clear, that's what we're talking about here. This is not complicated. This is very simple. And the people who are saying this isn't so are fucking coping. And it's sad. It's sad. Like, it's genuinely pathetic. Like, I look at you guys and I laugh. Just to be clear. When Pixie says very clearly she wants him to be punished, that is malice. It's not injustice. She probably deserves to give him a lot worse, but that doesn't matter. We're talking about the law. Why are we talking about the law? Because we care about the law? No, we're talking about the law because the law is going to be used against Pixie to hold her into perpetual bondage. Because let's say she tries to move on from this. She gets...
Again, there's no evidence of this. This is speculation. Now, speculation is fine. Speculation is fine. But you have to admit that, yeah, you're speculating. But he's treating it as a definite that... He's treating it as a definite this is going to be held over her head by Stephen, which is just not a definite. There's nothing from Stephen to even say that he's going to do that. Nothing at all.
Her $100,000 or so. She moves on from this. She goes to law school. What if she decides to talk about something later on? Or what if she decides to talk about something maybe unrelated that Destiny doesn't want her to talk about? He has that. He has that. He can ruin her life. He can ruin her career. Echo rules, it does matter. Please grow up. Seriously, like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. You guys talk about drama shit all day. You don't know how this works.
Oh my god. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, you just talk about drama shit all day, okay? You don't know how the law works. I do. I mean, my specialty is in political science, not interpreting case law or criminal litigation. But I do. Ugh.
You don't know how this works. None of you know how this works. For the record, I have talked to lawyers. I've also talked to people who have engaged the legal system in some level of detail. And I'm reading you the law right here. I'm sorry. It was not good for the video. The video's out, Ico. Give it up. Done. Video's out.
Also, a victim's career would not be ruined if they broker an NDA connected to a payoff. Yeah. I mean, would Stephen even do an NDA? Would Stephen even do an NDA? So far as we've seen with his communications with Pixie and Lonabox, right? People connected to the situation. He's explicitly said that he's fine for them to talk about things however it happens, right? Now maybe things have changed. Well, Stephen wasn't exactly like happy with how Lonabox talked about him on his live stream, and then started like spurging in his offline chat. Obviously, knowing that would like direct a certain level of attention to Lonabox, but yeah, he seemingly he's been happy for Pixie to coordinate however she wants. There's nothing to suggest he's going to have an NDA, and there's nothing to say that he's going to hold it over her head.
It's not being changed. It's too late. Cat's out of the bag. Time for optics is over. We're done. So you didn't have to say extortion. I didn't have to say extortion. So Ico's right, by the way. Saying extortion was a mistake. Not because I'm wrong. It's because you're idiots. Just to be clear. Meaning no one in particular. Just the ones I don't like. That is literally my only point. I know it's your only point, Ico. That's why I'm mad at you, because you're correct. Stop it. Stop it. See, this is why Steven surrounds himself with sycophants. You have to deal with people trying to save you from yourself all the time. It's fucking nightmarish.
Oh my god.
Remember, I made your bikini, Aiko. I can unmake it. Yes. All right, moving on. Because that's not the interesting stuff, okay? The interesting stuff is what comes out of this. So, bro, you already know if Pixie was extorting Steven or not. I do. You don't know what she was going to do. Okay, I guess I need to start from here then. You don't know what she was going to do. The way your video plays out, you saw her tweet about a test and assumed she was bought out. She already did it. You don't understand the law, dude. Simply uttering threats in the same communication that asks for money is enough. It's so little. That's why lawyers never do that or they're charged as criminals. I can send you case law. What's with the part of Pixie saying that the lawyer told her she doesn't have the strongest case against Steven? And then you telling Aaron that the lawyer is wrong. Actually, I told Aaron that the lawyer was not wrong. What I told Aaron is that Pixie was going to the lawyer with the wrong complaint. But who knows what I said was even making it to Pixie at that point. This is in Beckett's video. I reply, it doesn't matter. Steven has a case against Pixie because of the DMs. That's the point. Willie, are you a lawyer? Nope, I talk to lawyers. It's true. So you saved Pixie from an extortion case. Nope. It already happens. Extortion already happened. What I did do was I removed any possible motive to use it because the cat's out of the bag. I showed the machines that others wouldn't be misled into thinking that this is a good idea and get themselves into serious danger. Listen, buddy, I know who you are. God, why do I talk like this? Listen, buddy, I know who you are. I know you have to hire morons like Doomer Media for your research. We aren't peers. Make your little shit video. Every time I get pissy, I turn to Origin of Language and I can't.
Oh my
god.
god.
My inner Dwight comes out. It's fucking hell, man. But this is what I want. It is crazy that I talked to Loner Box and he says that you were not given
Mr.
to
Bucks?
post all of this. They were still drafting a public statement. They knew Pixie was suicidal and you posted the video anyway with the convo in your convo. I told Nick I was going to cut the convo, so I'm still bitching about that. It's comical. Did you even ask if you could post? I can't imagine Loner Box having incentive to claim something that he is directly involved in wasn't extortion. You see how slow you're being. But this is the upshot. This is what I'm interested in. This is what I'm interested in.
Sunday told Aiko on a stream a few days ago that he had not talked to a lawyer.
They were drafting a public statement. The Loner Box, just to be clear, must have known about the Kyla conversation. There you go. Like, this kind of complicates things a little bit. And this is what I'm talking about. Every single person involved in this has ulterior motives. Why is Loner Box trying to cover for not so erudite? Put that on again, it's bothering me. Why is Loner Box trying to say that Dan and not so erudite are not so bad? Why? Kyla did something really horrible, by the way. Kyla, knowing that her employer was a sex abuser, went out of her way to tell people to shut up about it. Don't talk about it, guys. I mean, I'm talking to the victim, okay? I'm protecting the victim by shutting you up talking about this rampant sex abuser. And then, with her employment in mind, tried to talk Pixie out of a monetary settlement. You see, here's what Kyla should have done. She should have done this. Hey, Steve, here's the deal. What you did is disgusting, and I'm gonna go public with this, okay? That's what she should have done. She should have done that. And then she should have assisted Pixie in taking him to court and then settle out of it. And everybody would have been safe. Everybody would have been fine. That would have been the result. I get the optics case. Do I look like a person who's concerned about optics in the broad scheme of things? Okay, like I understand the tactical utility of it, but we're past that point. We're past that point. Move on. Optical considerations are important when they are active possibilities. We're beyond that, okay? I could have done better. I get it. I was tired. I was sick. We were rushing. We didn't know how long we had. We're rushing. We stayed up all night for multiple nights. It was a miserable couple of days. Here's the point, though. When Loaderbox comes out and he makes declarative statements about this and he tries to cover for the people around him, he, like all of these people, are trying to maintain the network that they profited from before Steven fucked everything. That's what's happening. Just to be clear. When Willy Mac makes his video, why is he bothering with this long conversation with me? There's no purpose. It doesn't change the facts of the matter. What's he going to do?
He's just so defensive. He's so defensive. It's totally reasonable to think that Loaderbox, through, whatever reason, right, genuinely thinks that Kyla wasn't in the wrong, right? That she didn't do anything wrong. That's totally understandable. That's totally understandable, right? They're friends. They've been friends for a long time, right? Well, long time. A year, thereabouts, okay? It's understandable that through this, he thinks that Erudite was genuinely trying to help. Sunday doesn't think that, so he thinks that it's obvious to everybody that it wasn't so. And so he's impugning Loaderbox on that basis. It's totally unreasonable.
Like, what's he going to do? What are you going to do about it? The video's out. Did I commit a crime? No. What are you going to...
Also, it's weird to think that what does he think Willy Mac is doing in this? Trying to conspire against him. He's so defensive. He's so defensive. I think it's pretty clear that Sunday was one of the first people to break the story. Right. One of the two first people to break the story. And now he's reaching out to him to ask for like information or clarification or get like the inside scoop. Don't forget, he thought the Lawrence Southern leaks and then the nude leaks happened at the same time. He thought there was one leak. He doesn't know the timeline. Clearly he's reaching out to you to get a kind of like, you know, a summary or get answers about the situation because he doesn't know. And then it's devolved into an argument.
And I do.
And then you're fucking like you're fucking like throwing insults at him. That's why it went off course. Jesus.
Well, you're going to find someone to be a villain that you can fight against so that you can justify why you guys were actually covering for this the entire time. Because they all were, just to be clear. Every single one of these people knew. And they don't even need to know the Pixie stuff, by the way. They knew the Melina stuff. They knew about the other leaks. They knew about all of it. Every single one.
Oh, my God. Sunday's fallen into the Tommy C trap of thinking there were these people out there who know all of this stuff. I don't think Willy knew any of this. He wasn't covering this up, right? It wasn't like he had anything and was refusing to tell. Nick wasn't covering this up. From what we've seen of Nick, and I've got no reason to think he was lying, he had a single screenshot that he didn't even know was real. Right? This is a situation where we've got like alleged like hacking and like leaked materials going on. It's not beyond the pale to think that screenshots might be faked of conversations, right? There's nothing public for people to talk about. And I don't think Willy Mac even had any of the stuff in like behind the scenes.
They didn't need to name a victim. There was a preponderance of them. And even now, even yesterday, there were updates, which I will pull up, okay?
Also, yeah, is he not forgetting that all of these people, especially Lonerbox, who were like connected to Pixie or knew about the story, as soon as you know that Pixie is like didn't consent to it, right? So far as I can tell, if you knew that this situation and it going public, the thought of it was making Pixie suicidal, right? That information just followed behind straight after it. It's understandable why people don't want to cover this. Oh my God.
Destiny decided that because because all this stuff is going down anyways, that fuck it. Why not? Why not leak more? Why not? Oof. I mean, I guess now that some shit is leaked, Lamau, if you want videos of me eating, I've got them. This is from the 9th. Just like... He was still doing it after the leaks happened.
Okay, I haven't talked about these before, but I'm weighing up whether to include them in the timeline video I'm making, right? I think these screenshots could go one of two ways, and this sounds a little bit gross, okay? But hear me out. When he's talking about him eating, right? Is he talking about eating somebody out? In which case, we would have to ask, you know, is this still... Has that person consented to the recordings being sent? There's no reason to think so. And in fact, from everything else that we kind of learned, there's reason to think that he probably hasn't asked that person for their consent to share it, right? But, unfortunately, through the leaks, we know that Destiny has a penchant for eating his own semen. Okay? Unfortunately, we know that. So, when he's talking about eating there, the question is, eating what? Eating what? Oh. I never thought I'd have to consider this.
He was still doing it. You see you're banned on Akiva? Akiva's already banned. Repeating yourself.
Food, surely. Somehow, I think food is the least likely. Does
Willy Mac lie about you in his video, or otherwise leak this DM convo between you and he? Some of these DMs on stream would be a wee faux pas. If not, why? Who cares? Is it a faux pas? Who cares? Who cares? What if it's a faux pas? Who cares? Who cares, guys? Seriously. Who fucking cares? I was watching Resi last night. I reported Tyler on stream because he doxed me in our last conversation, or attempted to. And Resi was like, no.
It's pretty
Don't
fucking
fix it. I
grim,
was like,
yeah.
who cares? Who cares, guys? Only thing that matters, okay? What are you able to do? What are you not able to do? That's it. These are the $5. Pixie actually communicated to Destiny her threats, or was it just a leaked message to Kyla not meant to be communicated? It was to Kyla meant to be communicated, so it was both.
Yeah.
In the communication, they specifically discussed sending it to Steven. She's going through Kyla because she doesn't feel comfortable talking to Steven. Kyla is also Steven's employee, so it's...
That's not true. Okay. He's talking about this so imprecisely. Pixie isn't talking to Kyla because she doesn't feel comfortable talking to Steven. They had a conversation, and Pixie doesn't think that Steven is, like, taking her seriously. Or the conversation broke down, right? And when she says about the conversation broke down, the conversation just ended or went down into Destiny essentially trying to convince her not to commit suicide and telling her all this stuff that she like has to live for, right? That's what Pixie means there. The problem is we just like characterizations upon characterizations upon characterizations. That's what makes this stuff so confusing, because the information just goes through so many fucking pipelines before it ever gets to like a definitive source. So far, Jesus.
They aren't stupid in that way. Okay, anyways. So we're past my essays now. We'll finish this up and we'll go to Tyler. You don't know what she's going to do? She'll read it. You understand the law, dude? Simply uttering threats in the same communication that asks for money is enough. It takes so little. That's why lawyers never do that. Why lawyers never do that, or they charge as criminals. We found case law of lawyers being charged as criminals for that, by the way. But with the part of Pixie saying that the lawyer told her she doesn't have the strongest case against Steven, doesn't matter, we were there. Really, are you a lawyer? Talk to some. She saves Pixie from an extortion case. Nope. Oh shit, what did I do? God, this is so painful. I hate this media player so much. We're here. Okay, here we go. The bind here. All right, everyone stay calm. We got this. Right. Okay, I got where we were. Meanwhile, the people advising, oh, no, here we go. Sorry, we'll just step in the top so I don't miss anything. So you do this to protect Pixie? No, I don't have any capacity to protect Pixie. The bind here was that Pixie suicidality, which is the result of...
Why the fuck? Streamlabs is so fucked, okay? Why the fuck is it constantly telling me that Kevin has become a subscriber? Subscriptions should not go to the event list. I don't know why this keeps happening. And why am I getting sparkles and dings every time somebody likes?
Destiny leaking revenge porn with her in it. It's being used as justification. We've read this already for people to keep hush about what was going on, not just with Pixie, but all Steven's victims, including his wife, pretending that the leaks weren't already known to contain Pixie in them, when very large channels had been tweeting about it since day one, which is how I found out, was the default excuse to silence anyone who so much as mentioned that Destiny leaked multiple people's intimate sexual material without their consent. Essentially, Destiny and the channels who benefited from being linked to him were using Pixie's suicidal ideations as a cheat code to get Steven out of being called out for a sex crime. Meanwhile, the people advising Pixie were all seriously compromised in some way. The one from Steven's friend were telling him information on her security, straight right, or the direct conflicts of interest. Kyla and Dan, right? This is when I went off on a tangent on Loner Box. All were encouraging or facilitating her to do something very illegal. Here we go.
Do I get dings every time someone unlikes and relikes now? No. It seems to just be like only... it only seems to be first likes, thankfully.
The risks to Pixie wouldn't go away with keeping this quiet. We'll read the whole thing anyways, we have context. All were encouraging or facilitating her to do something very illegal with a plethora of documentary proof that would give Destiny serious power over her for the rest of her life, while at the same time talking to Steven behind the scenes and sabotaging her ability to extract enough money to even satisfy Pixie's naive goal of teaching him a lesson. The risks to Pixie wouldn't go away with keeping this quiet. In fact, new ones were being set up. I need to emphasize this. Extortion is a felony that can come with jail time. People who have made threats for money against people who probably did sexually victimize them, by the way, have been severely penalized for it in the past. Steven being able to hold this over Pixie's head into perpetuity could be deadly to her. Meanwhile, the other victims...
Here's the thing as well. Here's the problem as well. We have no reason. We have no reason to believe that people were trying to cover to Destiny using the veneer or trying to lie and say that, well, I just don't want Pixie to commit suicide, you know? But they secretly just wanted Destiny to, like, get away with it. That's not true. That's not true. Oh, I don't know how he can say that with so much confidence. There's no way he can know that. Maybe you can know it about a specific person, right? Maybe you can know that about a specific person. You can't know that about everybody.
Are still afraid to come forward out of an accurate fear that they'll be ridiculed and disregarded, all while Stephen is free to get busy making new victims. I assume this is where we left off. Okay, it's coming back to me. We're back. All right. And then, person of the law, lawyer, first case.
Also, just for context, right? Does Willy Mac know the situation? Does he know all this, and he's just playing dumb to defend Destiny? Well, he doesn't even know how to spell Straighter Aid's name. He's spelling it Straighter Raid. That's how little Willy knows about this situation, clearly. It's just,
and then, person of the law, lawyer, first case, already happened. Wait, there we go. It's great that I found a loaner box that says you're not given the go-ahead to post all of this. They were still drafting a public statement. You too suicidal, and you posted the video anyway with a cut version of your convo with Nit. You even asked him to post. Can't imagine loaner box having incentive to claim that something he's directly involved in was an extortion. You see how slow you're being. So this all comes down to extortion. Nope. There is also, is this the wrong one? Is this the wrong one? I might have sent the wrong one. That one cuts off, but it's okay because I have recorded in here as well. Boom, 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 boom. It's just a little blurry, which is why I don't like it. All right, so we'll center that. So let's go backwards because it's here. It's loading. Okay. Talk to some. See safe in a searching case. That already happened. Then he asks, can you link me to the statement from the lawyer you spoke to saying these DMs count as extortion? I think it's my last question. Those were IRL conversations, so no. No way, lol. Are you stupid? Serious question. Who's the lawyer? I'm telling you. That's what I know. Go find your own lawyer. It just sounds like you're lying. That's why I ask if you're stupid. Go ask Legal Eagle or someone.
Oh! Can you link me a statement from a lawyer you spoke to saying those DMs count as extortion? I think that's my last question. Those were IRL conversations, so no. But apparently, not only, well, not days ago, he said to ICO that he never spoke to a lawyer. Okay.
Is that not showing up? I am so bad at this, guys. I apologize. The law isn't different per person. That's kind of the point. What are you scared to? Lol. It's going backwards. Okay. Okay, hang on. I think I go back down from this way to the bottom that way. Nope. Okay, it's all backwards. That's fine. Okay. Right. We got a better one. Hang on. Go two. Does this one count? That one not? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay, here we go. All right, we got it. We got him, boys. And finally, why did it not record past that point? Oh, I see. Because I didn't record past that point. Okay, that makes sense. Whatever. Okay. It doesn't matter. Why is this in video form? Because I'm technically incompetent. That's why I'm something noir. Do I look like some? Look at this. Look at the setup. Look at that. I've got like a freaking bar in the middle of the screen. That doesn't make sense. Why? Why would I have that there? To what point and purpose? Why are these screens so bad?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually very, very jealous of Sunday's overlay. Apparently, Hellbent made this for him. But yeah. How exactly he gets this set up so people can donate to one thing or another, I've got no fucking clue. I don't know how he gets any of this done. It looks really good.
Because I use them with OBS. They're apparently recorded in low resolution. But it's trying to like a TMZ of commentary or something? No. The main thing is, it's just like, the only reason for this and why this is coming out now and so late is because all these people are talking to each other, which is the main interest of this. He's talking to Letterboxd, and they're trying to figure out a way. Hey guys, we're all friends, right? We all still want to keep doing this and making money. It's a shame Steven fucked it all up. How can we save this? And that's it. That's it. Never watched this Willy guy, but why is he arguing with you? Isn't it supposed to be an interview or fact checking? Yeah, but Willy Mac's stupid. These people aren't journalists. They aren't academics. They aren't writers. They aren't politicians. They aren't lawyers. They have no expertise in anything. Willy Mac is a guy who pays losers, scroll through Kiwi Farms.
Okay. So he's just, okay. So I am my read on this was absolutely perfect. Okay. My read on this was absolutely fucking perfect. He just thinks Willy Mac is a fucking moron. He thinks Willy Mac is a fucking moron. And so he thinks he's just sweeping for Destiny. Oh man.
Make him a digest of points that he can go, "Hi everyone, I'm Willy Mac, and I'm going to talk to you about this thing that I'm just reading today for the first time because I paid Doomer Media to do all the research." That's it.
Here's the thing. He does the exact same thing as Willy Mac does, right? Except he does it less regularly, and he obviously can't divorce his personal bias from it. That's the thing. Sunday has expertise in what? He does have expertise in academic writing, to be fair. But again, I can't, other than like showing evidence as he's talking, I can't see that it makes his content any different from what Willy makes, right? He's very out and out about his own fucking biases, right? And it's hard to divorce his video from his biases on the situation. That's why again and again and again, this is anecdotal, but from everyone that I've heard, everyone talks about the Sunday video and the Beckett video. Everyone says the Beckett video is better. It includes more facts. I don't even think it does include more facts. It just doesn't include Sunday's bias.
That's all. Willy Mac's idea of a Machiavellian move is to go, you know what, actually, I did hours of research and I think that Destiny is right. Ha ha, dead fireman saving his family from a mass shooter. Ha ha. That's where he's at.
Jesus.
People are dumb. People are really dumb. It's one of the reasons why I'm very not receptive to people exerting peer pressure in this space. There's a tiny number of people who are very stupid, who have very little actual reach, which is why they're depending on Destiny for reach. Big red flag right there. It just doesn't matter. Isn't a good start to pick the name Penis Macaroni first. Mean. That's correct.
He has an undergrad political science degree. I thought he worked as an academic. Okay, never mind then. He's not even He's not even a researcher. He just has an undergrad degree. Okay.
So, still waiting on the Destiny Letterboxd Israel trip fit. That's never coming out. It's never coming out. Where's the tweet of Nick saying he wants Destiny to give him a lecture on Israel Palestine? Nick DeOrio.
Hold on one moment.
Sorry, not a lecture. A seminar. Oh, why is it way up there? Get down there, you. Can Destiny host another seminar for drama YouTubers where he explains the Tenet Media stuff to normies? I am way too lazy to research this myself, but it seems funny. I like the concept of Destiny sitting me and Tom down for 6 hours and giving us a college lecture every few months so I am less useless when discussing shit. So you can understand why such people are very concerned to have an alibi, right?
An alibi. I think this demonstrates Sunday's mentality, right? More than well, it demonstrates it quite clearly, I think. The fact that he even has this in mind to just be able to bring up, and he referenced it earlier, right? This gives the fact that he's even thinking about this. Nick is literally just saying he's talking about Israel-Palestine. He never mentions Israel-Palestine, right? He talks about the Tenet Media stuff. Whether you like Destiny, whether you hate Destiny, very fucking informative. Okay, I'm talking purely about his political. Let's put kind of recent things that we've learned to the side, right? Whether you like his political takes or dislike his political takes, it is quite informing. He talks about a lot of like facts, reporting, right? You can disagree with his conclusions. I often do, right? But yeah, he's informative. And the stream that he did going through all the Jan 6 stuff was very, very informative, right? But for some reason, he thinks that this illustrates that Nicholas DeOrio is like compromised to Destiny.
He just really wanted to spend 6 hours with a sex offender, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my god. Also, there's no date on this, right? When did this stream happen? This was before the leaks.
Let's look at
what?
Let's look at Tyler. I'm gonna go through all.
Okay. So he's going on to the Tyler stuff, right? Let me have a look. When did this fucking happen? This happened months ago. Fuck.
And this is truly remarkable. And so I just want to.
Destiny Blackpill's entire commentary YouTube community in focus group panel. Okay. This was back in August. This was months before the Solo would, the leaker, potentially, right, would even message Destiny. So far as we're aware, this is before he had access to their account. None of this was happening at the time. There was no reason to believe that anybody involved in this panel at the time, I'm assuming the tweets were made at that time, right, that there's nothing to believe that any of these people knew any of that stuff, right? These are people who were just invited on a stream to walk through a video that Destiny was supposed to be making about the January 6th event. Does Sunday put dates on other tweets in this time? Well, no, because you take the screenshot he's got, I'm assuming he probably just has this saved, was taken an hour after the tweet was made. So it's not like he's gone back in retrospect to investigate Nick's associations to look at this. He saw this and at the time just screen capped it. I think that's the clearest thing you can take away from this. Right. I like Sunday. I think he talks through things, he brings a lot of factuality to it. He's clearly an intelligent guy, right? Way too overconfident though, especially when he's talking about legal stuff. Way too overconfident. And this is just, well, it's just too much. He's going a little bit schizo with this one. He's grouping all the commentary community together as if they all knew that this was going on. No idea. Most people have no clue about what's going on here. Jesus. Anyway. Oh my god.